That's the ladies of Zed Run, Lacy of Blue Racing, and Holly of Grayburn Stables. They Lacy's like a everybody knows Lacy at this in particular moment. She put her face out. I remember she said on the pony plug, so people can stop calling her bruh. And then we got Holly of Grayburn Stables. She's been around Zed for a while now. I've been following her on Twitter for a while, and she's been following us for a while. So, because we have never interviewed any women and we don't see a bunch of women on Zed, we decided to interview two at the same time because women need a place to, or we need to show that this isn't a platform that's all for just men. Women are good people on the platform of Zed. They're not the only two. So in the
Yeah.
future, hopefully we interview some more. And so MD, I'll let you start off with questions, and I'll get everybody in here that should be in here.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, welcome both of you. Thank you both for coming on tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So just kind of my favorite intro question is like, what got you into Zed, and then who, if anyone, has had the most impact on you getting into Zed to start off?
Lacy, why don't you go?
Oh, well, I think everybody knows my story at this point. I came from Top Shot, and Top Shot was the first really NFT thing I had ever done. But it was at the near end of its life as far as like how popular it was and like utility. And so I was looking for something else, and I heard somebody talking about Zed Run and went and bought a pony, and that was it. I got hooked. My first pony was Glue, but my second one, Blue Powder, was a good little runner, and I've run him over 1,000 times.
Wow.
Obviously, this was before obviously fatigue, but that's really what got me hooked was running him all the time, and he would win enough that he was basically even ROI almost, barely
How
negative.
how did you find that horse? Was it just a purchase on OpenSea? Did you do any research? Did it just, hey, this looks good?
This was back when we were on, was it Matic or whatever? Not OpenSea.
Okay.
And he came up, and I had been looking and looking, and he was only 0.06. He was the son of Saga
Wow.
Bolton. He'd had
Okay.
4 races, and by then I knew what I wanted, and he was a good price point back then.
Wow. What a deal.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I ran the hooves off of him.
Very, very
Yep.
cool.
So, but I learned from him a lot. Odds, just how to run your horse, how to test them, all that stuff. I learned a lot from him.
Are you still using a lot of those learnings today? Has it changed as the platform's changed, or has it still been pretty much the same for you?
It's still pretty much the same. Flames have changed things a little bit, but it's still basically the same.
Nice. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Sometimes I know for me, like hands-on learning is the best way to learn. So like I could research until I'm blue in the face, but I need to like get down and like get into it and actually do it to really experience and like learn the ins and outs for me from my own perspective to really kind of have something stick. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I
Very
mean, I
cool.
still test all my horses, mostly 5 races, every distance. But now with flames, it's a little harder. So,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
fatigue.
Yeah, you've got a lot to balance now.
Yeah. It's putting it nicely.
What about you, Holly?
So I actually got involved in, I think it's April. I read the New York Times article when it came out, and I was like, what is this? I must have it. um, and so I had knew nothing about NFTs. I knew nothing about crypto. And I actually called my dad and I said, hey, my dad got me interested in gaming from a really early age and something that we used to do together. And he's 71 now, but he's still an avid gamer. He plays Civilization and a lot of the long-term, month-long strategy games. So I called him and I said, hey, I know he loves betting on real horses. And, in Massachusetts where I grew up, we had greyhounds. And so I was like, do you want to do something crazy with me? I said, I don't have a ton of free time, but I said, I really want to partner with somebody. And I said, if I buy a bunch of these horses, I said, will you race them for me? And so he was like, sounds like okay, and he got into it, and like within days he had a crypto wallet that was like set up and
Wow.
got everything all together. And then we like could not get horses in the drops. Like,
It's tough.
I think we made it through one round and it was like nothing, and so we ended up having to purchase some. But so we did everything blind, and we just sort of had to train ourselves for the first few months. And I didn't really have, I wasn't on Twitter at first. Was on Discord a little bit, and Discord was pretty disheartening about just the general climate. So we kind of trained ourselves on a lot of stuff, and then thank God we found, a lot of the Twitter resources and like started to look at all of the sites developing, because like I'd say your site, like Zed Run tools, this is right back when I first started. We only had Know Your Horses, was the only one I knew about. So we started with Know Your Horses, but then we kind of transferred. So you guys have all been the biggest, I would say, influences on us, just in making decisions and trying to. I mean, it's amazing that we have outside of the game data like we do, which I don't know if this is rare for other games. Like, does this exist with other games?
It does.
It does?
Really does.
Yeah.
Like we're a little behind. We haven't set up a Wikipedia yet, so with all this.
Oh, yeah.
With all
Yeah.
the Zed Run founders and developers' personal information on it, so we're a little behind. the
Yeah.
times. But,
Yeah, it was a little bit of a steep learning curve, with in the very beginning. And so I think I feel a little lucky that we learned before fatigue and we learned before some of these other things, so that we kind of got a feel for what horses could do before they were influenced by those other things. Might be a little intimidating for people just coming in now, but I mean, with anything, if you're passionate, you dive in.
So what were some of those OG games that you and your dad used to play?
I was talking with who is the Zed Guru about, like, we used to play Mule on like Atari way back,
Oh,
which
wow.
is like, do you guys know that game?
I don't.
It's freaking amazing.
Wow. So
Yeah.
You're like 86.
Yeah,
86,
like,
87.
yeah. So like that stuff, all the old Atari stuff. We did a lot of PC games. Like, remember Battle Chess? Like Battle
Oh,
Chess
yeah.
still
Yes.
exists.
Yes. With the,
And
when you would take a piece, they would fight it out, and then they.
yeah, like the queen was all sassy whenever she would kill people. She's like, whoosh, like,
Attacks and all that stuff. Yes, I remember.
yeah.
Great game.
Yeah, a lot of SimCity. I love strategy games. SimCity. Like, I love taking a beautiful city and having Godzilla walk through and then like fixing it.
Yeah.
Wow, first game I developed was like really close to Sim Ant.
Yeah.
It was a pack of lions, like a lion pride. That was like the very first thing I developed.
Wow.
It got,
That's
like,
cool.
95, 96. I can't even find it anymore.
I loved that game.
Yeah, I love Sim Ant though.
That was amazing. Like Marble Madness. Do you guys remember Marble Madness?
Sounds familiar. I can't picture it.
Yeah. Or Castle Wolfenstein.
He's like, I'm not a gamer.
The first game I played was Mortal Kombat in high school, so it's
I
totally
loved
different.
Mortal Kombat.
Finish him, I mean, that's what I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say more. Castle Wolfenstein was the one that really like kind of got me like scared. That game was crazy. Do you guys remember that? Which is the first
the
one
name?
of the first shooters.
Yeah, I had Wolfenstein. It was
Yeah.
Wolfenstein 3D. Is what it was
3D.
called.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that game was crazy.
So everybody's saying my mic is still low. I just got a new. Well, I don't got a new one. It didn't come with now. I got the one I had in the first video. So I don't know what's going on. I gotta wait for this new mic to get there. I apologize. I'll just start speaking now. So it sounds better.
So within your stables, do you have any favorite horses? Lacy, is that one that you ran the hooves off of?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I will, if I have one horse left in my stable, it will always be him. Just because he was my first as far as teaching me really the game and getting me into it.
What is that horse's name?
Blue Powder.
That's right, Blue Powder. You said that earlier. Blue Powder. Very nice, very nice. And what about you, Holly?
Our first horse that we kind of learned on that actually won some stuff was, I kid you not, Pony McPonyface.
I know that.
Why do I know that name?
Because they ran it, and it's definitely been on Pony Club before.
Oh yeah.
Pony McPonyface. What a
So we
name.
ran that
What a
horse
name.
so many times, way more times than we should have run it. And it was so funny because I kept being like, "Why is this horse winning with these odds? I don't understand." Like,
Have you owned that horse the whole time, and do you still own it?
we still own him, and he is in our breeding stable right now.
Wow.
And we bought him with a few races, and we owned him the whole time. Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad raced Pony McPonyface. So if you saw Pony on the track, that's my dad.
That's gotta be it.
Yes, one of the users, Sean3 Twitch, said he had lost the Pony McPonyface.
Yes, Pony has taken some wins from people, surprisingly. Like, but yeah, he's one of our favorites. We have some new ones that we really love. Our first bred horse that we have actually done well with is My Green Envy.
Okay.
And he's been doing pretty well for us. And I have a few new ones that I ended up finding on OpenSea just under, for 0.2, Ichigo. And I loved him so much, I bought his brother Cider Drink. And they have the same parents. Yeah, so those are two really fun.
Interesting fact, because I am a little bit of a nerd at times. Ichigo is named after a famous character in anime. Naruto probably knows what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Right on.
Bleach is the name of the show.
Yeah, I love that damn horse. That he was a 17% winner prior to some of the racing changes going in, and then we kind of got thrown off a little bit with that August, 5th through 20th span right there, kind of threw us off down into about 12. But he's on his way back up, so I think he's going to be about 15 maybe when we're done tweaking him a little bit.
What how would you two define having success or winning in Zed?
Lacy, why don't you go? I'm gonna follow you.
Excellent. I think success is still having fun with what you're doing, honestly, because if you're not having fun, it doesn't matter if you're making money, in my opinion. So as long as I'm still having fun, it's a good thing. If I'm not having fun anymore, then I'm going to lose interest and, sit back. So
how are you having fun right now on the platform?
Actually, I hadn't raced in a while since Fatigue and the Flames had come out, and I entered into Zombies tournament, and it's the first fun I've had probably since Flames and Fatigue came out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I have 2 horses in there. They're not going to win, but it's been fun.
That's great.
So I think Zombies tournament has opened it up for people to kind of enjoy racing a little bit again, even if they didn't before, just because it's hard right now. Oh shit, my horse didn't get a flame. He fucking isn't gonna win. But then he wins. Flames. Shit, I'm sorry. They don't mean a damn thing. So yeah, Zombies tournament really is let me have fun again. So
that's awesome. What you also have your website too, clueracing.com. And how has that added to your fun? Do you treat that as something that's totally separate? And I'll grab the link here and throw it in chat. How does that affect your Zed experience?
I like doing glue racing. I haven't done any pony spotlights since odds have been done away with, because I'm trying to figure out how I want to kind of go back to measuring horses, and I may wait till they do change Flames again, because now they're going to change Fatigue, I should say, and see how to quantify that data. But I've also been trying, I think in the last few ones, I did more of an interview process with people to try and get to know the owners behind the horses and what their strategy is, because not everybody wants to hear what my thoughts are all the time when it's not my stable. They want to hear what, what Holly thinks and what her strategy is and why she's doing what she's doing. So I think I'm going to go more into maybe an interview kind of process more so with the horse spotlights.
Very cool. I like that a lot. I think that'd bring a really interesting, unique perspective, and
Yeah,
a lot of different perspectives.
yes, absolutely. There was definitely people that one of them actually raised horses in Kentucky. I mean, and that's how they segued
Wow.
into this. So it's very interesting
Very
learning
cool.
people's
Very cool.
backgrounds.
Very
What about
cool.
you, Holly?
For success, I tend to play against myself in games more than I play against other people. So, like I'm not going to hold myself to some standards like arbitrage, who has just like a completely different set of horses. So I think my goals are to just take the horses that I have at any given moment and like how can I best find their best fit, and how can I also overcome some of the limitations that I have inside of myself when I'm, planning a strategy and executing it. Because I think we all have that part of us that like sometimes your horse is winning and you have to overcome your urges to not run that horse more in a winning race if it doesn't balance automatically. And that is actually sometimes challenging to do, that you really have to be more regimented about certain horses. Some horses let you get away with murder, right? Like some horses you can run it in whatever you want. Oh, you just got a new horse, murder weapons, speaking of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some horses you have such freedom with, you can do whatever you want. And other horses, it's like if you mess up a little bit, like going up or going down, and it's like the wrong direction. So for success for me is taking what I have and making the most of it. And then obviously I want to be ROI profitable on as many horses as possible. My goal is $25 a day winning profit. And that will give us, a reasonable amount to start off with. We had a profitable month 2 months ago before the changes, and then we kind of lost a little bit last month with all the changes, and now we're profitable again. So we've invested a lot in the beginning, and our goal is to slowly, learn everything and then slowly have an increase in at least making back some of the money that we've invested while having fun. You know what I mean? So yeah, my husband is always like, you are spending so many hours on this damn game for $25 that you won today. And so then I finally was like, honey, I just calculated out. We've made 6.2 F in horse value in the last 3 months. And he's like, oh, okay, keep going.
That's a very modest look to $25 a day. That's profitable and it adds up over time. So that's
Yeah, I mean, just as a starting point, and then like once we get our bearings, we'll take it to the next step once we get to that point consistently. So that's my like starting goal.
So
that's actually that's just as smart as in my opinion, that's just as smart as what arbitrage is doing with all of its horses, because you're just keeping a profit margin going, and that
Yeah.
is like what's that, 25, $100 every week,
Yeah.
give or take, or $150 every week turns 300. That's like 0.01.
It's about $750 a month, actually.
How much?
I think it's $750 a month.
Yeah, that's enough for another like Z2 legendary or
Yeah. Because I'm going to reinvest it. Like, I like to think I'm going to make a profit, right? Nah.
Yeah, that's enough for like a Z8 legendary or something.
Yeah.
Like 0.0, 0.2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad profit margin to maintain. That's a very good.
Yeah.
Sean
So-
Saul said he aims to only lose $25.
That's what he.
So Holly, I got a follow-up for you on that.
Yeah.
How do you know like when a cutoff is for a horse? You've got kind of within your stable, you want to hit $25 a day. You acquire a new horse, you start racing it. Maybe it doesn't go out as planned. How do you know when that cutoff point is, and how do you cut that horse off? Do you flip immediately? Do you sell, looking to sell for a loss? Do you try and hit a percentage of your initial investment back? What does that look like?
So it depends on the horse's ability. If the horse has a great ability, I'm going to keep him and breed him, even if he's not a racer. So, and if the horse has a great ability, but we're running him badly, then I'm going to keep him and figure out what we're doing wrong. Like, for example, we have this incredible horse, Cancun Bay, that, we've been running, and this is exactly the horse that I just was talking to my dad about last night. And we're about negative maybe 0.02 on him, but we've run about hundreds of times, and the horse just wins a lot in class 4 and obviously gets bumped back up into 3, and he's just not as strong at 3. So we really need to balance him out and lose a little bit more with him. And so this is a horse I'm going to keep, even though he's not profitable right now, because I know he can be. It's just it's up to us to just fix our strategy. So we have a new racing formula for him, 2 variations we're going to trial and just see which one is best. And I think that's going to turn him around. So that's kind of my goal for right now is and we also have another horse, Break Uber Wind, that is the same thing. They're both distance runners, and we were running them the wrong way. Pretty much. And then, other horses that if I see they're going into 8% win territory, 9%, like they're going to be breaking even. We're just turning our wheels. I'll either sell them or hold on to them again if they have ability and just use them for breeding, because we've turned some really great we've turned some really great foals out from horses that were kind of almost there, and that even like 3 to 5% winners can create great horses, especially those A shapes.
Absolutely, I've seen that too. Gold Warriors are a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Yes, I was talking to somebody late into the night last night, 8, that he might want to breed his Genesis mare with a Nakamoto exclusive, and to keep the Z number down, because you might get a Steph Curry or Gold Warrior. Because there's a lot of elites on the platform that have Genesis mothers, Buterin mothers with exclusive Nakamoto mares, and they break down to the elite, and they're pretty good racers.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of luck this month with taking a horse and
do we lose Holly?
Grandparent or something, and then putting that in the mix.
Can you repeat what you just said? Because broke up, and we're all sitting there like, where's that success?
Oh, sorry. You're like, what was the success? Yeah, so we just bred 2 horses. I think it's Sprightly is one of them that we put in some Finny, and then we just bred Volant, Volant. And we had a horse, Popcorn, that has a Nakamoto parent. I think Popcorn's parent is Bumblebee. And so we used Popcorn is kind of one of those horses that's like going to get pushed up too high in class, and we still haven't really tailored him out to figure out what's going on with him, what he'll best race at. But he may just win too much and not be a racer. So we'll see, because he doesn't do well in the higher classes. But he is a good breeder. So, and I think it's that Nakamoto in his parentage that's actually helping us with that. So even though he himself is not a Nakamoto, it's really helpful.
Sometimes it skips a generation, but you said he's a great racer too?
He's really good low class. Let me pull up his, he's really good in 4 and 5. He was like killing it. He's a Z12, and he's got a Z10 Genesis Buterin mom and a Z2 Nakamoto Genesis for a dad. And we just pulled out 2 offspring from him, Half Moon Bay and Volant, and both are doing really well. Half Moon Bay's got 45% fire, Volant's got 27%, but the Z2 dad only had like 6%, and the mom was unraced, so we don't know what's up with her. But he's a good example of how like he's very much a left slanting horse, where he's just way too many wins, not enough 12s to balance, and he just gets pushed up. And it could also be that we just, now with Flames, we kind of have to reevaluate him and just see, maybe we haven't found his good balancing distance yet. Because it does look like he's also a distance runner, so we might need to just tweak what we're doing and put him in more short races to balance that out. But I'm not racing him right now. Sometimes you have to know where to spend your time.
Absolutely.
And matters too how many horses you have. If you have too many, others get neglected.
So,
that's so true.
I know you got a lot of horses over there, Lacy.
It's a great point. How do you handle stable management?
I'm less than 50 now. I sold some more. But it's too many. That's why I race like 2.
How do you manage all that?
I have Excel spreadsheets, and I have 2 different stables. I try and keep my mares in one and my stallions in the other. So, and I have a calendar with everybody's breed dates written on it. So.
Is that in Excel or is that like a separate actual physical
that's
calendar?
a calendar on the wall, and I just sit here
That
and
is
I'll look
amazing.
at it. And,
I love that. That's really cool.
yeah, that's how I organize my stuff.
I heard that. I don't want to do a plug, but Dan Chan's Blood Tool or whatever has like a race organizer or something like that. And that might be something like you could hire someone on Fiverr to develop a race organizer or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
Nah, I just need to not have 100 horses like some people do.
Yeah, we're at 55 right now. We're a little steep.
Yeah, I mean, but at least there's 2 of you that manage it. I just manage this because my husband doesn't even know what I'm doing in here. So.
Oh, you gotta get him in here.
No. No. It's a bad idea. Breeding anything with anything, and no.
Did he buy the physical derby at least?
No. My husband doesn't even know what the blockchain is. He just glazes when I talk to him. So no. If it doesn't have a motor on it, he's not interested. Bikes, boats, whatever.
There you go, riot racer. He might like that.
No, he'd rather be out on his dirt bike and tearing it up. So.
Oh wow.
How do you handle your stable management, Holly, between you and your dad?
So I have 3 stables. We have a breeding stable and we have 2 racing stables. So I have one that's my account, Grayburn, is kind of our trialing stable, and then I usually have a few racers just to like have fun myself also because I can't let my dad have all the fun. So I give him usually a subset of the horses and have him just like, these are horses we're running very regularly. And then he sends me a email every day with the results of our day and his profit or loss. And then we kind of, communicate and have little meetings back and forth. But it's like a great way to just connect with him and like spend time with my dad and have a shared thing that we do together. But I really don't have as many spreadsheets as I should. I really should. I'm kind of winging it on like what I should be doing when and where and like trying to use my brain to remember, which it doesn't happen. So
I even
it's a little more messy.
Stud fees, everything. I have everything.
That's good.
In Excel.
Love it.
Because I want to know what my percentage of profit is, whether it's 0.003 or 0.3, it all matters. So.
Absolutely does.
Sometimes I don't want to know.
Quick question for Lacy. How successful have you found yourself so far with breeding since June? It opened on it with the surprise.
Breeding. The first day of breeding, just everything got bred with no matter what was there available. So that really didn't count for me. And since then, I've kind of been on a learning curve. I have a couple of stallions that are kind of my go-tos, and I sell a lot. I only keep a couple, and I keep mostly fillies. And if I do run them and they're good, I usually still end up selling them. Like I sold one recently to Cracks right before Flames came out, Dark Lover, and I still miss that horse, but I can't keep everything. So, yeah.
Do you have a strategy involved with deciding if you're, because you did say you keep you sell most of them even if they're good. Is there any logic behind or any specific strategy on if you actually are dead set on keeping them?
No, I keep everything from one of my stallions, B Royal, just because he seems to be a consistent breeder. But otherwise, it's mainly, sometimes it's just if it's a color I really like and who the sire is. And if I paid to stud it out and then my stud fee was really high, then I'll keep it because I know I can't recover it on a sale. Yeah. So there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Are you still having, I remember when it started, you got and you put your stallion and he got sniped from the gate. Are you still
all of mine did. Blackfire got sniped 10 times and then Dark Skies was 7. Oh. Well, Crazy Cat, we're on Discord with each other. Her decentralizing currency got hit 45 times that night.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
so that's a lot of data for her to right off the
Yeah.
bat.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I still
I feel
haven't
like
bred with either of them for myself.
the only dummy who didn't go for a Nakamoto to breed with on the first night. I have like a breeding plan already initiated. Like, oh, it's open. Oh, he's
Oh,
in there.
I hit no Nell along with like 20 other people. I think he was a Z1 Knack. He got hit so hard. Yeah, so sometimes there's strategy and sometimes it's just what I'm feeling for the day and depending on who the mare is. So
Coincidentally, though, now that I think about it, that was the only horse I bred that turned out to be any good. Was the one that went with my breeding plan.
there you go.
Zed works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a question for both of you. Do you find yourself more of a racer or more of a breeder in the game?
I'd say I started out a racer because breeding had just closed. So, but now I'm more of a breeder because I like making babies and naming them and seeing what comes of it on the track. Then, even if I don't race it, if I sell it, I do follow. I keep it in my Excel spreadsheet. I sell it as a UU. I even put in there what they named the horse. So I do follow my horses.
That's so nice.
So I'm ridiculous that way.
Do you have a like naming strategy that you try and go after for your horses?
Sometimes if I'm going to keep them, I try and keep them within the Valkyrie name or kind of Norse history.
Love it.
But sometimes I'll get something like name it Tequila Tyler from TK.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just fun, Good
Love
time.
it. Love it. Very cool.
Yes.
What about you, Holly?
I think I obviously started off a racer because breeding was closed when I started. So I, definitely started as racing and then kind of delved into breeding. And once we were able to really expand our stable and get things a little bit better, I would say I was more of a breeder for a while. But now I am a racer again. I have like a few horses that looked really bad for like during when there was a lot more competition. I'm running Josephine and Savage Blood right now and having a blast with them. They are like killing it.
Love it. Love it.
So here's the question I don't normally ask. What's your favorite of the bloodlines? Do you find yourself more of a Knack, more of a Butte, more of a Zaba, or more of a Finn type person?
I think I know Holly's answer.
Actually, do you? Because we've been talking about this for so long now. It's like Sabo Gang or Finny Finesse. What is it?
I think
I actually
you're Zabo.
What do you think?
I think it's Zabo.
I'm Sabo. Yeah.
Zabo Gang, Zabo Gang, Zabo Gang.
Yes, but I like a little Finny Finesse.
I don't have a preference. I mean,
Really?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Because I have horses from every breed or bloodline, I should say. And I think they each have their own purpose. So I really am not a part of a fan of any certain one.
I think that might be a poll for Twitter. Favorite bloodline. If you could do 4, I've never did a Twitter poll. Somebody in chat might beat us to it, but favorite bloodline.
Yeah.
Lacy
Yeah.
Because they have one. I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I have, since I bought 2Z2 Knack Genesis, I love Knacks, but I have Zabos and I have Finny and I have a shit ton of Buttes. I mean, I love them all. So I think they all have a purpose, a breeding purpose.
What's Molinor?
Oh, Mjolnir, I sold her. She was, I know. She was a Finny Genesis and I sold her. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Golden just about fell out the seat.
I did.
If I could do like a little John, like I would totally do that right now because that was like your favorite horse.
I know, but you know what? She was not competitive on the track. Let's be honest. And I didn't find her to be a good breeder. I bred, I think I bred like 4 offspring or 5 offspring from her. I'm not quite sure now, but they just didn't perform the way I wanted them to. And I loved her, but she had to go.
Wow, that's hard.
It is,
hard.
but I had to make a smart decision. So,
What about you, Golden?
I started off like a Buterin guy, and then I became a solid Finny guy. What happened was the breeding prices got really expensive, because I wanted to breed with like Nax and Zabos and and then I looked at the breeding prices on the updates, and I was like, hell no, I'm just gonna stick with Finnies. Like it's not going to work. I don't make enough money racing. So
yeah, what you gotta do is get a Sabo and put it in a different account, and then you basically breed with across your 2 accounts, and you save yourself some money that way.
Well, see, I even went up that. I got a legendary Finny Z8 that is half Zabo, half Finny. So
best of both worlds.
Right on.
Yes. I'm gonna get back into Buterin soon, just because it's
back to Butte.
It's not cost prohibitive.
Love it. Very cool.
All right.
Yeah, we just kind of touched on that. I like that question a lot, Golden. That was awesome.
Yes.
So if you were to recommend to anyone starting out to Zed, they've got a budget of 0.3. What are you recommending they go after, and why?
0.3.
0.3 won't even get you a Genesis mare, I think, at this point.
Probably not.
No, maybe a stallion or a colt, but maybe.
Yeah, and see, I'm always a fan of getting a female so you can build your own stable if you're just starting. So I guess I'd have to say get a legendary Buterin. I'm all about Genesis, though. Dan.
Yeah, but you could work your way up.
Yeah, very true.
Holly, do you have an answer for that as well?
I'm going to say that you benefit by getting 2 bloodlines every time you get a legendary, right? As close as you can to 2 separate bloodlines. So, or 2 different parentages. So I think it's a great way to get a couple of legendaries, get a few fillies or a few mares, and even if they're already raced, even with some potential, because then you can just bring in some different studs and mix it up a little bit. But then you've got 4 different, even if you get 2, you got 4 different bloodlines to kind of pull in from. And the different combinations of studs that you're using would be a great way to bring some diversity into a new stable like that. So if you can, I think legendaries are kind of cheap right now. So what did they say the floor is? Like 0.05 or something crazy like that? Like
it's close to that,
you can actually find
for
something.
colts, I think so. And then fillies is like 0.07 or something. So.
Yeah. So with 0.3, you could do a couple of females and, maybe find something that's fun to race. And learn off of as well. So you've got a little mix of racing and breeding with that. That's a reasonable amount of money to work with.
Yeah. I'm a fan of NAC exclusives too. If you could get a female NAC exclusive and not get priced out with breeding fees, that would be all right too.
Yeah, and what's that going for right now? Like 0.17 or something?
It's nothing terrible. Yeah, if it's already been ran, I think. Yeah.
Not bad at all.
I was just thinking I want to buy that next. That's my next purchase.
MJ, to shoot the question back at you with 0.3.
Yeah.
I would just look for a good racing male or decent racing male, relatively unproven though, just because if you went with a lot of races, you'd be priced out of 0.3 pretty quick. And then paired with a just low breed, as close to Genesis as possible female. To kind of just start off the stable. That's kind of where I'm sitting right now.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so I'll also say I have a different approach than both of them.
Yeah. All right, what you got?
All right, so on the market right now, you could get a Zabo exclusive, like Z11 or lower, for 0.2.
Yeah.
I'd say get that and run the legs off of it. Because you're more likely to have a pretty good racer. at a Z11 Zabo exclusive, and then try to breed it. And I mean a filly as well, not
Yeah.
a mare, or excuse me, not a
Yeah.
male. You can get an unbred, unraised Zabo exclusive for about
Yep.
0.2, 0.21, somewhere around there.
I
Look at
literally
the
have
parents.
one for sale. Stroke of luck. Somebody go
Oh.
buy him.
Looking it up.
Her. She's 0.211.
Uh
So
oh.
you nailed it on the price.
There you go. So you can get a. You
And
can
she's
get a,
she
Zabo
is like a
exclusive.
reasonable Z.
Yeah, Z12 Zabo Elite, Byzantine.
Oh, she's an elite. Sorry.
Okay, well, you can get an exclusive for the same price. Just
That's sad. I know they are kind of similar.
and so yes, that would be my advice. You could probably get a D11, a Zabo exclusive, because I was in Poseidon's Facebook group earlier, and the guy at 0.8, so I told him to get 3 Zabo exclusive females, unraced, unnamed, and then get a male, or
Hmm.
get 2 and 1, because he had 0.8, and I was like, well, you can get 2 and 1 and still save your money for breeding. Then
And what happened with that?
I don't know. I don't know what he did. I'm more active in Poseidon's Facebook group than Poseidon is. So
He's too busy putting his horses in the middle of the night, so you can't even snipe him. Him and his brother are.
that's actually the middle of the day for them.
Yeah, but they know when all the Americans are sleeping, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Red Snap, who's in the chat, was like, "Good morning from Australia." Shout out to Red Snap. But yeah, he said good morning from Australia. So it's like once I think 12 o'clock hits, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon over there, so he could get all of his stuff done. So yeah. But yeah, it's that would be my strategy for 0.3 is to get yourself a Zalbo exclusive and just run the legs off it. You'll probably stay in between class 4 and class 3 unless you got a really, really good one. And so, yeah, I probably just made the market go up for everybody who got Zalbo.
Thank you.
Golden causing a pump over here.
I don't. And I said I'm a Finny guy, so there you go.
I know. You just went
Just
against
ruined it for yourself.
in
Yeah.
2 minutes.
But all right, so 1 second. What is your approach to race selection with fatigue and fire now? I'll start off with Holly this time because we've been starting with Lacy.
All right. Actually, I know the answer to this question because last night I just called my dad and I said, this is the race you're going to be putting our horses in at the dollar amount, and this is the order you're going to put them in, okay? Take notes. And so we're doing, on a obviously the moderate racers here. So we're doing best race, $5, first race. And then even if you have negative points to pull, then you do that second and third place, and you might only get 3 good races before your fatigue is up right now until the new change happens, which then you'll get 5. So you can vary your strategy a little bit once the new fatigue sets in. But for right now, what are you guys seeing? Like 3, 4 before things get a little hairy?
Some of mine is barely 3. Depends on the
3.
horse.
So
Yeah,
we
I won't-
plan for 3.
Yeah, I won't race under 90%, so.
Yeah, so we plan for 3. So first race, best race, $5. Next 2 tanking races, $2.50, and then try to balance out whatever good that we did. And that middle position, we toggle based on whether they won anything or not yet.
I like that.
Mm.
What about you, Golden?
I have this friend. His name's MJ,
Yeah.
and he has this great tool called Zetalytics. And so what I do is I ask my friend MJ to show my horses in Zetalytics, and then we figure out where it's the best distance. And then so if it's a pretty good horse, that's where I choose the amount of money to race for. But without MJ's help, I'd be a terrible racer over the course of
I second that motion. Like, that's how we're picking which is the good race and which is the bad race based on those negative positive point balances that are in his tool.
Well, thank you both. I appreciate
Shameless
that.
plug.
I appreciate it.
It's a shameless plug, well deserved.
Yeah.
So
And
What about you, Lacy?
Yeah.
I just race all the cheap races, honestly, because I don't have any horses. To me, all my horses that are up in Class 1, they're up in the graveyard. I don't even run them unless it's a free race. So my Class 4, Class 5 runners, it's usually just cheap races. So,
Okay.
and I just go by, where their flames are, what their percentages are. All mine are, I'm basically running now, still have odds, so I know where to put them, where their strengths are.
Well, I know East Coast has been challenging you all night on the chat.
I am not racing my Genesis knack. It is not happening. East Coast. No, he's a degenerate. No, he would race everything. He will admit it in a heartbeat. No. At one point, I was thinking about it because I knew odds were going away, and I was like, "Do I want that information?" And then I was like, "Is he more?" And then I was talked out of it by people like Yair that are like, "Don't do it because he's got more value as on race down the road." So I got talked off that ledge. It's not happening East Coast.
Lucky Jack said, "Good job." Shout out to Lucky Jack. That's going to segue into, we do have 2 giveaways going on tonight. One by Holly of Grayburn. She's giving away a horse. And Lucky Jack is giving away a horse as well. I'll do a quick...
Nice.
Lacy goes, yes, Lucky Jack. Yes, that's what he does. He gives away
he does. Listen, shout out to Lucky Jack. I had just started. I hadn't been doing hardly, I didn't have a lot of horses. And I had entered this Genesis Circle raffle giveaway for horses because the drop was coming. I didn't think I was going to get a horse. And he won a horse from the raffle, and he gave me the horse.
Wow.
Out of the blue. And it was actually a NAC exclusive Dark Skies, who's one of my best breeders.
Nice.
That's the kind of person that Lucky Jack is.
Yeah.
Lucky Jack is great. Lucky
Yeah.
Jack
That's
and
so
Pony Plug
awesome.
for sure.
Yes. And so here is the first horse that we will be giving away in a couple minutes. Holly, it's a Buterin Z42 Elite filly, unraced. Got a Z23.
It's a rare coat.
Ghost White.
Oh, Ghost White is definitely a rare coat. Sorry about that. And then we have Absolute. She has 2 Z19, which is more than likely a legendary. See if my guess would be correct. Who's in the stud, by the way, for .027. It's so it's an exclusive Buterin Z19. So I'm guessing that it has. That would more than likely be Finny blood. And
you called it. Yep.
I'm gonna guess that is her mother. I know her mother, Purple Flower. She's a
Purple Flyer.
Do you own Purple Flower?
I do.
Oh, that's a good horse. That's a really good horse. Really, really good horse. Comes from a horse named Black Fiddler, if I'm not mistaken.
I have to look back and see. I think it's Royal.
Oh no,
something.
New
Hold
Player
on,
and Our Promise.
New player. Yeah, new player.
New Player and Our Promise.
Yeah.
Interesting fact was when I got on Zed Run, I was there was this guy named Dingo Mick. He had a huge
Yes, I bought from him.
Yes, he liquidated, and this was Lacy. If you remember when Matic was when everybody was using Matic, OpenSea actually worked. And so what I was doing was I was buying horses off of OpenSea from Dingo and then listing them on Matic and selling them to make my profit and then going back. And I wanted that horse, Purple Flyer, too.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
I was listing them for like 0.05 more or something. And there was I was trying to flip my way up to get a couple horses. And then they shut down Matic, and we had to go back to OpenSea. Amazing. We're gonna have to talk, Holly, because I might want to get a breed off one of Purple Flyer's offsprings. If that's okay.
I'm down.
I do have a horse under her. That shares Our Promise's blood with her.
Absolutely. Let's make it happen.
Yep. And so now this is the second horse being given away. It's a Z7 Elite Nakamoto named Giacomoto Frost.
Ooh, junior.
It's a filly though, so I don't know what you would call a female junior. Yeah, but you gotta trust Lucky Jack's breeding because even though last week he didn't do so well in the Lucky Jack Challenge, if y'all don't know, Pony Club every Friday hosts the Lucky Jack Challenge. If you're not if you have an unraced horse, wait to Friday to race it because if you beat Lucky Jack, which is not easy, he'll get mad and put some Z2s in so he doesn't lose. if you can beat his horse in a Griffey, he'll give you a horse, and then you could race that horse against the horse that in another Griffey, and he'll give you another horse until he runs out of horses. And he's been doing that like every week for the last like 3 weeks or so. So shout out to the Pony Plug and Lucky Jack. But
yeah, it was amazing. This past week was like a horse giveaway bonanza.
It was wild.
I didn't have a horse to race. I was like, no.
I did. I had one in. I had Parley in with him in one race, and he came in 12th, and I came in 11th. But that horse ended up being a good horse.
It's pretty good. That is pretty good. And so that's the second horse we'll be giving away. And so we're gonna ask a couple more questions, and then while we're asking questions, hopefully MJ can ask a couple more questions, and then I can make sure we do the giveaway correctly. It'll be a raffle.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how to do it, so I'm on Streamlabs now.
Oh, okay, no worries.
He's like, can you do something while I research this?
Well,
so how do both of you see the future of Zed Run? Both, what do you want, and then based off of the roadmap and the things that they've talked about, where do you see that going first? Like, what is the next kind of order of thing that's coming in? And then, like, ultimately, what is like your dream of what Zed Run looks like?
Ooh, can I answer this one first? My dream of Zed Run, this is like, I'm loving this, is basically you go to a racetrack in the future and you're running a hologram of the Zed Run races, like live in-person events.
Wow.
On like a big ass track that you like go and that people are betting and that you have your horses and you can enter into these tournaments, and the racetracks are in like the major cities and stuff, and it's like their tracks, you know, and you have like a physical place you can go and experience this and like share with people as well as online.
That's wild. That would be so cool to see. So cool to see.
Right, and fun to just like experience because it recreates what makes racetracks so fun, and the feel and the vibe and the energy of it. And yet we're making sure that horses are not dying under those circumstances. So I think it would be just like the best of both worlds. Or I mean, I guess, you know, I know you and I just started on the Oculus, MJ. So like maybe there's a virtual place that we go to there and experience that same thing like in VR. But I think eventually the tech will be there. Yeah. So like, let's see if Decentraland builds a track.
That would be amazing. Sign me up for that. I'll be living there.
Don't get motion sick though. I got a PlayStation VR, and I have the Spider-Man game, and like swinging around. I had to take it off without that. Oh my God, I'm about to throw up. I've never been motion sick in my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow. My girlfriend
I did that.
Bought me the whole thing. So.
I did that with a roller coaster, like 360 experience, and I was like, "Why did I do that? That was so dumb." I was so dizzy for the whole day.
Yes, it's great technology, but they need to have like a fan and wind blow, something to stimulate G-forces so that you don't get motion sick. But all the VR games I've tried, besides the Spider-Man one, are pretty fun, and the Iron Man one don't do that one either.
Yeah.
Too fast.
Yeah.
What about you, Lacy?
I want to see races like where I can schedule myself in a race. Like schedule what distance, what class, not under any pressure to throw my horse in a gate really freaking fast, and have it scheduled so that, you know, when I want to sit down with my dinner, whatever, or with friends, that we can do that. So I really am looking forward to scheduled like races that we can do that. Right now, I'm not a fan of just trying to throw your horse in a race and getting locked out half the time, and then it's going to run in 5 minutes. But I think in the future scheduling races. You can schedule them with your friends or having closed races where 12 of you could do it, like for Pony Plug. How fun would that be? They just arrange their own pink slips race. All 12 slots are assigned, and then when you go to stream, there's your pink slip race. So those are the kinds of things I'm looking forward to.
It'd be huge.
That would be great.
You entered a lot of $2.50 races.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find it difficult to get into those?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Do you feel you can get in more often than not? Or like, what is that ratio of like you getting in to not getting in?
Well, since Flames and Fatigue have come out in a little bit, maybe sometimes it's easier. I think it just depends on the distance too. Like 1,000-meter, very popular distance.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time getting my one girl that she only runs 1,000-meter in there, so that I'm hawking races, And then don't get me started on free races. Although, have you guys seen the CAPTCHA lately? I have went to enter races, and they're like, okay, how many of these pictures have a truck in it? I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think it's because I've entered. Well, I'm waiting for my $2.50 races. I'll enter the free races with other horses. And this CAPTCHA's coming up now, so I think they're trying to...
bot. It's a bot protection.
Yeah, I think they're trying to combat that. It's not all the time, but I think if I enter either too fast or 2 in a row, it stops you and it's like, how many are in this? Blah blah blah. Yeah.
I noticed that today as well.
Okay. So that's new to me, in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's gonna protect us little guys from these big stables because I have to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we all know there was a lot of botting going on, whether it was free races or stacking races or whatever. So I am happy to see that getting implemented.
Yes, we've had conversations in the past about the prolific botters, maybe personally, Lacy. We know who they were. Not going to put them out there.
We won't put them out there.
Just in particular moment. And so I'm going to start the first giveaway. It's going to be for Holly's horse. It's going to be a 5-minute timer, and it started now. You type in exclamation point raffle. It's a 5-minute start. Sorry if I'm very quiet, people. Once again, I'm trying to get the microphone situated. My girlfriend's sleeping, and I'm still screaming. Sorry, Jane.
I was going to say, you sound a little better now, Golden.
Okay.
Yeah, you do sound better.
Thank you.
We're going to see the shoe come flying out of nowhere and knock him upside the head.
From the top of the stairs.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, the stairs cut off. She just come down and smacked me in the back of the head. Bad rain. I'm kind of scared of her at times, so
That's why you keep checking your six, huh?
Yeah. I got you. I'll watch your back. I'll watch your back, Golden.
Well, no, I have 2 dogs that'll jump up and get excited for her to come back around, so I can hear, While the giveaway's going, I do have another question for both of y'all. What has been your most emotional moment on the Zed platform right now? Like happy or angry or sad, just the biggest emotion one.
I'd say buying my first Genesis snack from Doofy.
Aww. Yeah.
That
was
meant
that
a lot.
elation or like I can't believe I just spent this much money on it? That
No, the first emotion was a heart attack. First of all, because I had planned on it, but no, it was nice buying that caliber of a horse. Spending what I did was still, I knew, a good investment, and then buying from somebody I considered a friend. That was very nice.
Considered or considered?
Consider.
Okay.
He's still a friend. No drama there.
This is live. We can't edit it.
I know, right?
Yeah, and I know Lacy was on Twitter being like, "Don't worry, guys, I didn't get hacked." Because everybody was asking you if you got hacked, right? Because you were selling everything prior to that.
Yeah, I mean, I sold, I think 9 Genesis mares
Oh my God.
Buterins. That was actually, yeah. So I had to make a few moves, but I did it. And then I've subsequently bought back almost all the Genesis mares, different ones, but that I had sold. So, yeah.
Right
But
on.
I mean, 2 weeks later, they'd almost doubled in price. So I had to move.
Yeah.
That was so you were basically doing all those sales to get the money up to buy that Genesis mare?
Yeah, to get the revenue. I had pulled out a few ETH from my bank account. It was my investment, and then I had all my other ETH tied up in horses, and I had to cut some horses. I was sad to see them go, but I've since bought more, so it's okay.
So that's a great getting it real. Before we get to Holly's emotional moment, I just want to let the people know that's a great strategy if you want to upgrade your stable, is to sell what you have to gather the ETH to get a lower number Z numbers in your stable. Like if you have a bunch of Buterins and you're selling and selling and selling, you may get enough money to get like a Genesis Finny if you're at the Buterin level, or a Genesis Zabo, because we all still think the Zabo Genesises are very undervalued. I don't want to pump anything higher again.
But they have been. They've always been undervalued.
Yeah.
Always.
And for the record, there's just as many Zabo Genesis as Genesis Nakamoto's. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the better horses on the platform have been Zabo.
Yep.
But some of them, like Rendezvous Preach, probably one of the best females. She's probably up there with Ducky Malin, and she's a Z7 Finny Genesis. So
don't let Hoofy hear you say that.
I'd love for Rendezvous Peak and Ducky Malin to race 9 races, one at every distance.
Head to head.
Oh, I like that.
One at every distance and see who's better. Because we've been hearing a lot about Ducky because everybody loves Dookie. He's a great dude, good streamer, good content creator. And so we've been hearing about Rendezvous Peak as long, but not as much because Good Boys Racing doesn't really have. I can't put a face to Good Boy, so I'd love to see him race against Doofy. Just a heads up one, that'd be great.
Well, DM Doofy, I'm sure that they would make something happen. He's always down for a good, a good race.
I think they would get invaded by Lucky Jack trying to race. He loves the race, so yeah. I don't know. They're probably one of them's watching, or they'll hear about it. I'll tweet them both. And so Holly, what is your emotional moment been?
I say one of my favorite highs was we have a horse, Spare Change, that's a Z8 mare that my dad had bought. That was one of the Genesis that he bought. And so when we bred that horse in our first kind of go around, we produced My Green Envy. And I would say like the best feeling that we had was like with odds, seeing like 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, like, and just that consistent, like seeing that all the way across the list felt so good. Like, cause normally you see like 8 and then it's like, 15, 16, like, just throwing your dreams into the toilet. And so that was one of the best feelings that I think I've had. And I think one of the saddest moments I had was when I bred Elysian, who I like love, who's chartreuse. And it was like 6.47 on the Griffin, and then it was like 44. And then it was like 15, 20, 40, and I'm like, so those Griffin heartbreak moments can be really like horrible. And I had like 2 or 3 in a row, which is the worst. At that point, I was like, I hate Griffins. I never want to race a Griffin. Go over Griffins. Because I got like 3 6s, like 3 horses that pulled a 6, and then it was like nothing, So.
Unfortunately, I've never had a horse racing a Griffin that drew great odds. I can't relate. So, but I could.
It's like worse. I
could imagine how emotional that would be. A roller coaster. Like
Yeah.
I will maintain, and I'm sorry, like this might be throwing Zed under the bus. And a shout out to Lockwood219 who won your horse. I'm getting his wallet
Yeah.
address.
Let's go, Lockwood! Congrats.
But my
Congratulations.
my most emotional moment would still be with MJ when we both thought we won $1 million horse drop.
Oh.
Oh, that
Remember
was
when
the
everybody
That
worst.
was-
I remember that
was
conversation.
bad.
I remember our back and forth.
Yeah,
That
we
was
were like,
hard.
"Yeah!" Like I was at work and people were looking at me like a madman because I was screaming like,
Yeah.
"Yes!" I was jumping up, and me and MJ
Yeah,
were going
same.
back and forth on Discord.
Yeah.
Like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
we won!"
I felt
And
so
then
special,
everybody
so
else was
good.
like, we won, and we was like, "Wait up, something's wrong."
And then it was like 2 minutes later, right? It was like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Like I
Yeah.
have
Sorry for
multiple
all that.
stables. Yeah, and I'm like, wait, both my stables? No, that doesn't seem right. No. And then yeah, buzzkill.
Yeah.
But it was a great, like I felt great while it was going on, and then I'm not gonna lie, I felt really good. Like that was like winning a Super Bowl almost, because I hardly
Yeah.
win anything. Souls Vanished, the owner of Mula Mula, shout out to him. He said rug pulls.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Rug
jeez.
pulls, yeah.
But yes, so we'll start the second one. I got Lockwood's wallet address.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna put it in the private chat for the group, and
Okay.
Holly, you'll be able to see that.
Yeah, I've got the horse now. I can send it over
good.
ASAP.
So there's the wallet address.
Awesome.
Enjoy,
that
Lockwood.
was a great emotional moment. Do either one of you have any stable swag? Like see, I'll do it again. There's my Poseidon hat. I got an East Coast hat coming really soon. And
Oh.
Coffee Glue to go. You can find that swag shop. That's my boy Zed Retro. He's doing a swag shop for every single stable owner. All you got to do, really, I believe, is send him the designs, and then he'll get you help you set up your stable swag shop.
I do not have stable swag.
You got like the
I
best.
do
You
not.
got one of the best names in all of Zed with Glue Racing.
I know, and I have ideas, but I have not
Yeah.
had anything implemented yet.
You do have one of the best names. Everybody knows
Yeah,
it
it
with Glue Racing, and you got to think of something.
Hey,
Like-
my first horse, that's what she was. Call a spade a spade. 40 odds. Raced her like 60 times. Figured it out.
My first horse was a horse named Hot Spur. It's a brother to main event
I like the
from
name.
Armageddon.
Wow.
Armageddon is the father. That horse is terrible. I lost $100 racing that horse.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't know 45 odds is bad. I was like, I got the highest odds in the race. I gotta be a winner. And I lost
That's
my
epic.
$100 racing. Never finished first or second. Got a couple thirds. So it was a rough time for me and Zed. I didn't know.
We've all learned our
We all
lessons.
had that.
Yeah,
all
we
had
paid our
that.
dues.
Well, the guy Jarek, we interviewed him. He didn't have to pay those dues, unfortunately.
Yeah, some
He
people
got
get
that
lucky.
Z2 named Diamonds, and it's fire. That's all I can
Yeah.
say. It's a really good, really good horse.
Most
And
people
maybe-
aren't that lucky, though, first
Yeah.
time out of the gate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Everybody I know, with the exception of maybe Takeoff Tone and Steph Curry,
Mm-hmm.
weren't lucky
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, because he got Steph Curry real cheap, right?
Yeah, it was like $200 or something like that.
It was real cheap, yeah.
$200 at the time. I know. The guy I just said, Jarek, he didn't know anything. He came from Top Shot. If you didn't see the interview, he came from Top Shot, saw Al Smizzle's video, and paid 1.5 ETH for a Z2 legendary Nakamoto and just raced it. Didn't know.
Whoa.
Yeah. and it's a good horse, a really good horse.
Wow.
And
That's
he
a
didn't know
big
nothing.
purchase to start off with.
Yes. That's
Well, what did he do?
huge
Sell a LeBron? I mean, what did he do?
I'll ask him because I talked to like a lot of people don't know we're a lot of almost every night because I work nights and I don't understand how everybody's up working demon hours. We go to Sean versus All Discord because that's the only one where people are live talking all the time, and you never know who you're gonna meet in there. So I'm in there all the time at night because I work all night. So I'm in there all the time, and there's different people in there all the time talking different NFTs and stuff like that. Shout out to Sean. I think he's streaming Rocket League right now. But yeah, I'm gonna segue into the next horse giveaway real fast. This all the information's there for Lockwood. He's pumped.
Yeah, I've already sent it over for Lockwood.
Okay, so you should be getting your horse soon. And so I'm going to start this giveaway. It's going to be a 5-minute giveaway again. And it's the same thing. Type in, I should change it to type in Lucky Jack because he's giving away so many horses.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's what I'm going to do. Hold on. Oh, damn, I can't. Lucky. It's type in raffle started. Oh, shit. He sent me 2 horses. Sorry, I do have another horse to give away.
Ooh,
I didn't
that's
know.
nice.
I forgot. Sorry, I have 2 horses. I'll show that one in a second. Start the giveaway now. I forgot. Sorry, Lucky Jack.
Nobody's gonna be mad about an extra horse.
Well, no, he sent me 2 horses for a giveaway. That's I forgot about the second one. I seen it, but I was like, where the hell that horse come from? But it's named Giacomoto, so I should have known better.
Right.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the second horse, that's the Z7 Elite female. To he breeds great horses, so got 5 minutes on the wait. And so I got a couple more questions. MJ, what's the score on the Bears?
Oh, no, we're not talking about it. I don't know. I closed the window out. I have no idea what the score is. No one ruin it in chat.
No.
I have a recording on my
No
DVR.
spoilers.
No
Okay.
spoilers. Respect the pause. Those of you that have ever watched the leak, respect the pause.
Respect. Shiva.
I will. Yeah, I met Shiva actually once.
Really?
Yeah, super nice. Super nice.
That's
Um,
great. Holly and Lacy got lost in the sauce with that one. I don't know if y'all ever watched the show The League. Great show about fantasy football. Great.
Oh, nice.
yes.
So, quick question for you two: are you into any other NFT projects, utility, or profile pictures, or anything of the sort?
Lacy, you go because I know you are.
I was in RSOP. I just sold my last card
Whoa.
2 days ago, but I sold it for decent, so I'll pick up another floor one. And Dead Bears, which is related to Flocky, which is my first meme token thing ever. This is me branching out into little things. The first time I bought ETH was when I got into Zed Run. And then Skullpunks, which was just launched, which I really love the art for Skullpunks.
I do too. Those are cool.
They're
I
really
almost bought
nice
one today.
looking.
I might pull the trigger on one of those.
Yeah, we fully minted out tonight, so you'll have to go to OpenSea. But there's some really kick-ass PFPs, and they've been around for 3 other projects. I'm just a fan of the art. So
Very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I am not. Zed Run is my one baby that I have time for.
Yes.
What about you guys?
Go ahead, Mr. MJ down there. I'll let you go first.
I like the blue, yellow, orange pills. I think that's kind of a cool project. I haven't done anything with it yet. I just got my key for the facility. It's like you take the pill and augmented reality and experiences and things like that. They want to bring it into
That's
the
pretty
metaverse.
cool.
I feel like it has a Matrix sound to it.
Right? And then I love Dino Monks. I'm all about Dino Monks. All over that. Big, huge fan. It's a PFP of a dinosaur with different. Some are wearing basketball jerseys, some are wearing robes, some are wearing suits. But it's a PFP with the mental health component to it. So because I own a Dino Monk, I get to go into meditations on Monday mornings, and they had a workout on Friday. And apparently they have some sort of announcements tomorrow relating to that. So I'm a big fan of Dino Monks. Love me some Dino Monks. And I'm missing something. I'm missing something. I have to pull my OpenSea quick. What am I not remembering to say?
Do you have like a...
Oh,
You
art
have
blocks.
art blocks,
Art
too.
blocks. I love art blocks. Yes, I haven't bought one in a long time, but yes, I love art blocks. Just using code to create art, I think is really cool and just beautiful, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're really nice looking.
Yeah, they're really neat. So my favorite one is actually probably my least valuable one. So, yeah. Which I guess is a good thing for me.
Well, I'm all about aesthetics, so I don't really care if it's super rare. If I like it, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Love it. It's a great way of approaching it.
Well, for me, I'm still working on a game. I'm still going up in the air if I'm gonna make it an NFT game, but it'd be like a fighting game. And I am heavily involved into this game. It's called Splinterlands. I really love it. It's really good. It has like all of the functionality that's like missing from Zed almost. I wish like you could use cash. You could use almost any cryptocurrency. They got a renting system where you can rent your stuff out and you don't have to worry about it. And if you're the renter, you can snatch it. You can cancel the contract, but it still pays for the remainder of the day. And then all the money you had in escrow, it pulls out. And then if you're the person who's renting, you can shut down the contract and they still have to pay for the rest of the day. You don't get the card back the day's over. And then the money that they had in escrow goes out. And so it's just, like, I love the game. It's like, from a gameplay perspective, it's more like chess than a collectible card game. So I play it at work while I'm on Discord with people. I really, really like that. So I'm a gamer first and foremost. I'm not really an art guy. Like, if you hear me talk, I'm like, I can't believe people are paying this much money for date tags. I'm a total utility guy. I'm waiting for somebody to get sued for using somebody's profile picture to see if any of this holds up in court.
That's an interesting take. That's an interesting take.
Yeah, well, you know, I sound old, but I'm not as old as I'm not gonna reveal anybody's ages, but I'm not as old as I thought I was, and so I still look at it like, is this?
Well, it's still IP, so to me, you still have to be careful. I mean, granted, you own the JPEG and everything, but somebody else created that. So, what kind of rights, are you really getting? Can you put it on a T-shirt? I mean, so I totally get where you're coming from with that. Yeah. It's definitely new frontier.
Right.
I am thinking about doing an NFT project, just taking pictures of our dogs with like human clothes on, and then generating like 10,000 of them, get like 10,000 people to take different pictures of different dogs.
Don't give your idea away. You know that's going to be dropping in a week now.
Not for nothing. Like I look at like gutter cats and gutter rats. I'm like, ooh. Like I'm not a cat person. This people might hate me for this, but I think cat people are kind of weird. I'm a dog person. I guess it's because I'm a dog person, And so, I don't see how there hasn't been a dog project created yet. Like, dogs are the best. Just saying. Dogs are the best. That's,
So there's room in the market.
Yes. Somebody could do, like, some type of dog project, and I think, like, it might be able to knock out the Bored Apes, Man's best friend.
So we're going to have dirty dogs and gutter cats. Is that what
No. I'm thinking just man's best friend. We just call it that, Cloud. Everybody, well, not everybody. Fat people obviously don't like dogs. But everybody else like dogs. You can be a gerbil and a reptile and you still like dogs.
Canine Cartel. I like that.
Canine Cartel. Love it.
Canine Cartel. It's good.
All right, and so the second raffle is over. I'm going to pick the winner.
Let's go.
Tree Love, congratulations.
Tree Love, let's go. Tree Love, are you in
All
chat?
right.
Are you here?
And Tree Love is here because I added him, so he's definitely here.
Tree
Come on.
Love.
Uh,
Tree Love.
Just wait for him to come in. Holly got the horse out. Holly, how do you feel after you've given away your first horse?
It's my first horse giveaway. I feel good. I wanted to give back because, just to support everything that you guys have been doing and just disseminating information. And like, we've all learned so much from each other. So it feels really good to give back, to the community and people who are starting out and, share the love.
I am gonna say you gave back today, and it's in that way with that $25 profit. If people are tuning in late, she had a strategy where she just
that
wants
is a good strategy.
$25 worth of profit per day on racing, which to me I didn't even think to do something like that. It's pretty smart. I think it's a great idea. So just. Like if you can't
and it gives you permission to quit when you're ahead sometimes, to not push it. Because sometimes you take a good day and you've won a good amount and you just ruin it. I mean, we've all had those days where you're like, I have made a good amount of money. And then you're like, now I have made nothing.
It's like a day at the blackjack table. I don't know.
Yeah, when you need to know when to leave the casino. Leave.
Yes.
It's saying Tree Love is not here. So
all right. I think redraw and could you pull the horse up again so we could see the horse as well?
Give me one moment. I have to open up tab and go back into Zed real fast, and I can open up both. I can show both horses this time. My Sable. Just keep an eye, see if Tree Love comes back.
Okay. Oh, Tree Love is here.
Oh, Tree Love's here?
Yep.
All right. Tree Love, send me a whisper directly, the Golden Glow Master. You got lucky, Tree Love. Whisper to me. I'll put my name in chat again. Yeah, whisper to me, Tree Love. I'm getting ready to show the horse that you won. He whispered to me. Send me your wallet address. Address. There you go. And close that one down. And I know you're older than me too, Retro. I can't use being old as an excuse. How about Bear? Bear works. All right, he set me his yes, you want a Z7 Nakamoto Elite. I'm gonna show it off in seconds.
Pretty exciting.
All right, and let me show it off. Share. Oh, what does your husband think about as much time? What do your husbands think about as much time as you're spending on the Zed Run platform?
Yeah, my husband at first thought this was a really great idea, and he's totally into it. But I think he definitely had a question about like how much time and how much profit are we really talking about. But I think when you do things for fun and passion, it's like you would be doing that with another game making nothing. So like, do you really need to justify the money that you're making if you'd be doing all of that and just getting like the joy and the benefit? So like, I think the money is like the icing on the cake. But like really, I'm here to eat the cake, So he's cool with that. Like he pretty much does this. His job is basically to do what I do with Zed with buildings and real estate, and he basically like buys buildings and like fixes them and like gets them up to be the best that they can be and sells them. So sometimes I'm like, you should get into this. He's like, I do this all day. He's like, I can't do it anymore.
I don't want to come home and do this.
No, he's like, I need to stop like my whole day is evaluations and like pricing and finding undervalued assets. And he's like, I can't do this for the rest of the day.
that would be understandable. How about you, Lacy?
Yeah.
Well, my husband doesn't want anything to do with it because he doesn't trust Ethereum. He doesn't trust anything he can't touch. But as long as I'm making money, he's okay with whatever I do.
Okay.
And I'm making money, so
There you go.
that's a good thing. Yeah. And honestly, I'm a nurse, but I'm very burnt out. So this has allowed me to not work as a nurse for several months now.
Wow,
That's
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So whether it continues or not, that depends on the platform.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so this will be the second horse in the giveaway, Giacomoto Frost.
Oh, that's why the other one was called Junior. Okay.
Oh.
Instead of number 2, it was a Junior.
All right, and then we have its parents are Gary V. Smart naming convention there.
Yeah.
Because it's been exclusive, so Lucky Jack definitely bred this horse and named it Gary V. Very smart naming convention.
Oh yeah.
D2 Legendary. You look, AAA. I'm going to start the countdown and just review the horse while the countdown's going. Give me 1 second. Complete. Custom. Start the giveaway right now. I'm going to enter it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Throw me in there.
I'm entering the raffle. All right. It's a better horse than I have. Lower Z number. The lowest Z number I have is Z8. So I'm entering. All right. And so it's Giacomoto Frost. Oh. Let's see. Go back to its parent, Gary V. And so this is what I like to look at. It's siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the sibling level, it doesn't look like any of them have been raced except for Bad Influence.
Just one.
It has a 7.14 win percentage over a typical amount of races. Over 28 races, it has 2 wins.
I know, Pikachu.
We all know Pikachu.
Another Colt. I love that name.
Another gold.
Here we go. Go back. And its mother's name is Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur. It's a Pokemon.
Bulbasaur.
Come on now, Golden Glow. Never got into Pokemon?
Stop and start. And so 2 of its siblings have only been raced once for a 100% win rate, and 1 more likely has been raced 4 times for a 25 and 1-1. Can't look into the other stats on them. The mother and father have been raced at the Genesis level. That's what I'm doing right now. That's 10 how I evaluate horses, because I evaluate for breeding and racing proficiency, and even breeding. I look to see if it's bred another breeder. I check its bloodline. You know, Zed Run tools is better for this because you can expand the whole thing out and then start going in individually, looking at the odds. Well, they took the odds off Zed Run tools, but before you can look at the odds on each one of the horses. Now it's got the flames there, so like just a high level overview for evaluating a horse is to look into every single thing it's related to, because you may see something there. You know, I come from a boxing background, so it's like Joe Louis and Max Schmeling. I see something, you know. That's an old boxing quote. Joe Louis, heavyweight champion in the 1930s, almost undefeatable. He fought the German Max Schmeling, and Max Schmeling saw him in a movie, and he saw that he lowered his right hand when he threw jabs, and that's a fatal flaw when in boxing. Is if you lower your hand, you're liable to get counterattacked. And so Max Schmeling literally just kept hitting him with right hands and left hooks the whole entire fight, and basically gave Joe Louis his first loss in his career. He lost to Rocky Marciano later in his career, but he was like 45 years old when he fought him. but that was his most significant loss of Joe Louis's career. So I don't know. I always bring a lot of things back to boxing. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked.
Doing your homework one way or the other.
But yeah, it's doing your
Education.
it's doing your homework on a when you're going to buy a horse. You got to look for things that other people might not necessarily spot.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, in that story, what put Lennox Lewis in retirement is Vitaly Klitschko literally did the same exact thing and was about to beat Lennox Lewis, but somehow a huge cut got opened in his eyes. And then Vitaly Klitschko reigned as the heavyweight champion for 10 years because they stopped the fight on cuts, and Lennox Lewis was getting his ass kicked for laughing. Vitaly Klitschko was whooping his ass, and he won the fight because the fight got stopped on cuts. But he refused to give him a rematch and retired.
Damn.
That's how Lennox Lewis' career ended. He won a fight because of cuts and was getting his ass kicked because the guy saw a weakness in him in the movie.
Wow.
That's wild. That's pretty cool.
You pull your info from wherever you can get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, Fury tested positive for steroids after that fight, Mr. Congress Enterprise, and that wasn't Vitaly. That was his little brother Vladimir. Wham! Sorry, there were two Klitschko brothers. That one was the champion, one was the number one contender, and they wouldn't fight each other because they were brothers. All right.
Do we have our winner?
Yes, we have our winner. I'm gonna pick it. Tyga. Or
Tyga.
Or Tyga.
Mm-hmm.
Are you here? Tyga.
It's showing him on the stream. Congratulations. Billy's in chat if you got him, if you're a fan of Shine vs. All.
Tyga.
Tyga.
Where are you at? There's Tyga. There's Tyga. Let's go. Congrats, Tyga.
Send me a whisper, and whisper me your address. Well, I sent you a whisper. And so we've been on for about an hour and 30 minutes, really fast, while everybody's doing their congratulations. Does anybody in the chat, I'll give it about a minute or two, have a question for Holly or Lacy?
Thank you, Lucky Jack Pony Plug and Holly tonight. Appreciate it for the host donations.
You're welcome.
I know I'm being fast. I'm just waiting on Tiger's message back. And while don't forget, Tiger, send me a whisper. I just sent you a whisper. I'm going to need your wallet address.
Can I just say how much I'm looking forward to them fixing how many races we can run before our horses fatigue?
Oh my gosh.
When is this happening?
Soon.
When did they haven't given a timeline?
No.
They did not give us a timeline, but oh my gosh, I am also in the same exact. I cannot wait for the fix because unlike you guys, I only race once a day.
You race your one horse once, each horse once? I race
each horse once a day.
So you race it at 100% and that's it?
And that's it. No more fun for me.
Really?
I only race once a day.
I mean, that maximizes your dollar and your strategy. I get that, so...
Well, yes, that is the exact reason. That is the exact reason. It's because there's not enough information on what fatigue does. And so since there's not enough information on what fatigue does, I refuse to lose money testing it. If you remember MJ, I was like, I'm not racing until they figure fatigue out. I was like, it's not going to happen. They're not going to steal my money.
No, I can respect that.
You know, because like I said, I started with $1,000. Crazy story, you know, I started with $1,000. I'm not allowed to put any more than I already put in. So I'm up to like $3,000 though, for like total stable value. So I'm kind of happy, but I'm not allowed to put any more money in.
Right.
I wish I could at times, but I'm not.
I gave myself that cutoff just recently. I said I have to sell now if I want anything extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut off.
See, happy wife, happy life. Can't do anything else. Plus, I had with the terror drop. Most people know I was about to get beat up for getting people to register and get in that didn't know anything about Zed. So, really crazy story. Tiger, I'm still waiting to hear from you.
Tiger said that he's brand new and he's having a little bit of trouble, or he or she is having a little bit of trouble trying to figure it out.
Really fast, Tree Love, because I got your horse ready to be sent as well. Sorry. Where'd it go?
Tree Love also cut off.
No, I just had the freaking thing up.
Oh, Tree Love said they cut off too. Yeah, you gotta know when to cut yourself off because it can get dangerous.
Yep.
Yes. Is your stable called Solil Stables, Tree Love?
Do we talk about superstitions yet?
Oh, no, we didn't.
So yeah, do either of you have any superstitions when it comes to Zed? Whether it's...
This is your thing, right?
It is my thing. I love this question.
This is your thing.
Gates,
so what is your top... But they said Gates just is like, it was programmed in or something, but it is never going to be activated?
It's not activated yet, but like for whatever reason, for certain horses, I enter in a very specific gate. With Gold War, it's like 10. With Wins by the Moment, it's 3. Like, it's not even the same across horses. I don't know, I just get a feeling with horses, and that's where they're going. I also love my gray sweatshirt, which the only reason why I'm not wearing it tonight is because the Bears are playing.
What about Haku feeding?
Oh yeah, love
Some
that
people
too.
like to feed their horses.
Love that. So do either of you do I don't know, do you have any like rituals? Do you have any gate preference? Anything, or you just go?
Zed Run Tools tells me what gate preference I should have. I think don't they put that on there? There's a speed analytics by gate and that section. So sometimes I'll look at that and I'll be like, I'm gonna maybe go with what they say.
I always try and go with gate 12. It's because I can judge by the leaderboard if my horse is gonna break or not, and if she hasn't broke yet, I know she's not gonna do well. So I try and do that.
Holly says hi. Your dad said hi.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Wow, shout out to Holly's dad.
Woo!
Yeah, 71 years old, killing it.
Years young.
Doing something that's so, like, a lot of people would just be too intimidated to get into something like this. So, like, I think he is, and he's hustling. He's doing it.
That's a great story, father-daughter combination. That's a really, really great story. This is why.
Yeah, because Jump Back, the other day, Jump Back was like, I'm the oldest one in this game. And I was like, we got you beat. He's like, but only by like a little bit.
Wow. And so, Tiger, I'm going to assume your stable's called Tiger Style Stables.
72.9. Awesome.
And so your horse is on the way. 72.9. Maybe we got to interview your dad one of these days as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'm sure he has some great gaming stories to tell and his strategies and stuff like that. He's a master at like just continuously tweaking things until they come out right. So he's got really good stamina in games. I mean, he plays games that last months long, you know.
Yeah, well, you said Civilization. That's a Sid Meier's Civilization. Very great.
Yeah.
Very great game. I think they're up to like Civilization 9 at the moment.
He plays 4, I think.
Okay, I've seen Lacy roll her eyes like, how the hell does he know that?
You know all the gaming stuff. You're like mind is like a sponge.
Well, that's because Sid Meier's is literally the only game developer in the world who attached his name to the game.
Yeah.
And he's when you think of strategy games, you automatically think of Sid Meier's. Just because.
Sorry, 72.9. My dad says 72.9. Sorry, he is not. He's not 72.
Thank you, Mojo. And so, It looks like nobody else has any questions in the audience. Oh, wait up. This would probably be a question for all of us. This is from Solid for Life. How many different strategies have you tried regarding breeding or racing?
A lot.
I'll start it off. In regards to breeding, a lot of people know I probably have about 80 different breeding strategies. I've so far tried 6. I tried breeding for Supercoat, and I've also tried. I didn't get the Supercoat, by the way. I've tried for matching a horse's distances, the horses that ran the same distances at the best distance. I've also tried matching horses that had a winning rate like 1, 2, 1, 1 or something like that in the last 5 races, and none of that stuff has worked so far. Those are the 2 I can remember off the top of my head that I tried. And for racing, I don't believe in downclassing. A lot of people do, but I want to make my horse look the best in case, that breeding 5 in the last one works. So some people, they upclass and downclass. I just look to align my horse with its best racing distance because that's the only thing we have right now, and I just go. And we'll go down to Holly.
Racing or breeding strategies. I have a lot of breeding strategies. It's evolving over time. The very first round that I did, I think Lacy was like, I just bred with like whatever was available. There was definitely like a melee free for all thing going on like that first minute. And we had, a little bit of success with My Green Envy, but then a bunch of others came out, blanks. The next go around came out blanks. But I've been refining my strategy, and now I'm right before the Sabo and the Nakamoto price increase. It was a little bit easier for me to bring in Sabo blood, and I really wanted to do more of that with some of the Buterins that I had. But it's been hard with the price increases, so I purchased some Lozi Sabo colts that are, I think, exclusive, and now using that to kind of breed in at a little bit of a cheaper cost to get a little bit of a pizzazz a little zest into the Buterins, and we're having great luck with that. Actually, it seems to, if you pick the right ones, it seems to be working pretty well. So that's a nice way to kind of like save a little money, do it across your own stable, but still get a little spark in there for not too much money. I really, really, really hope that they change the prices on exclusives and elites for Finnies and Sabos. I mean, I understand Genesis, but like legendaries and exclusives and elites, it shouldn't be such a great price barrier because it's just going to make everyone breed with Buterins. And I have some great horses that would have previously gotten studs, and they're just all languishing up there sitting, and nobody wants them because unless you're like a killer, there's just so many up there, and it's too expensive. No one wants to pay $300 or $400, for a horse that's a risk. So I'm hoping they change that because I would like to do more of that and not have to own them myself to make it cost effective. But that's been my strategy. So now, if I can't do that, I'll try to get a Buterin with a Nakamoto or a Sabo parent and mix that in. So then at least I can get the cheaper cost of the Buterin, but I'm getting the blood in there from the previous generation.
Good. Any strategy for racing?
Don't lose money. Don't lose your $1,000 so you are not allowed to play anymore. I think know who you are playing, pick your best players, try to make money on those, and then the money that you make, use that for some of your trials and it's okay to try other horses, it's okay to fail, it's okay to give a horse time, because there's definitely some horses that don't look like they're good, but you're just racing them the wrong distance. So a good horse, especially with flames now, you might need time to see if they're not a killer, if they're just not like blasting through a class, it can take a little time, and you can have a horse that doesn't look like it's going to do that well, but actually there is talent and ability to make money with that horse. And I think that you need a little bit of time to develop that. So if you can take a horse that's racing well and use that to take that extra profit and like trial a few others until you have a good set of racers. Then you take those good racers and you know what they can do, and then you run them. So, I mean, it sounds easier said than done because, that's this game is, right, the discovery.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
MJ, racing breeding strategy?
Breeding for me right now with just the changes of prices, which I don't think makes a lot of sense when you have a Pacer Cross Nakamoto cheaper than a Genesis Zabo. I think that needs to be reworked. So the way I look at breeding right now is, what do I have available to breed? What is that going to cost me? Is there anything that's in stable that looks super exciting? Out of stable? Is there something better? What is that cost going to be? And then if I have the funds for that, what is the current market? So if there's a horse that I think is performing well or can perform well that I can get for the same price or cheaper than a breed, being a dice roll, I would kind of play that and almost go for the field. And that's kind of what I did with Murder Weapon. It just presented a better dollar value cost and higher potential ceiling than what my breed strategy would have cost me. From a racing standpoint, I race till about high 80s fatigue, so that's anywhere between 4 and 6 races for me right now. And then depending on where my horse is sitting within the class, I will then race at non-preferred distances till about that 70% mark to get it down into class or maintain a class.
Yeah. And Lacy, since you're not racing as much as you were, it's got to be breeding.
Yeah, for breeding, when I started out, it was like Holly said, it was just breed everything that you can. And then I kind of had, I went more linear. It was butyrin, finny. And now I'm doing more experimentation with butyrin and finny and Zabo and Nak combinations. And I'm having a little more success that way, I've found. And I tend to breed within my own stable if possible. And I try and add at least a couple of Genesis every month to try and shake that up, whether it's a stallion or a couple of mares. And then I do go outside my stable for Knack blood, even though I have a Knack, just because I want to add that different bloodlines, especially while it's still cheap. Because I think down the road they are still considering raising breeding fees for Zabos and Knacks. Because, this increase is just where it was supposed to be. This is not the increase that they were considering in the first place.
I actually hope they do not go higher. I think it is already... Yeah. You're basically killing people who own Knack exclusive, Knack legendaries, and even Knack Genesis from getting studs.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you, but I do think they're still considering that. And then I think they need to change their pricing because it makes no sense for a Knack Genesis to cost almost as much as a Knack Legendary to breed. And same with Zabo Genesis and Legendary.
Yeah, it needs to be steeper.
Yes, it doesn't make any sense. Why am I going to breed with a Zabo Legendary when I can just pay another, few bucks and breed with a Genesis?
Yeah, so. a Knack Genesis shouldn't be more, or excuse me, a Knack Legendary shouldn't be more than a Zabo Legendary. Excuse me, a Zabo Genesis. Sorry, it's a Genesis, and this is a Legendary. You get to hold your breed at exclusive or elite.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it shouldn't. I don't care if it's a Z2 and it's a Z3. A Zabo, a Genesis has a better chance of getting a higher offspring than a Knack Legendary. That's what they gave us.
Yeah. But that's why right now I'm still, even though they raised it, trying to get Knack blood while it's still cheap, like outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, quick tip for you then: go to Haku and you can filter by parent. You can filter by parent.
Yeah.
Nakamoto, which we call it, filter the letter or the Nakamoto, the Z number and the parents. If you didn't know already.
There's so many tweaks and tools. I can't even keep up anymore. I just found out Know Your Horses. Now I added it so I can see my fatigue right on my stable instead of going into my console and typing in the thing and on all my horses.
They're gonna update that too soon, I think, right? They're gonna put it in a few different places now where you don't have to look at the code.
Yeah. All right, and so That's it for the question. This was an hour and 49 minutes. I thank you both, and thank
Thank you
you,
Thank
so
you
much.
so much for
Yeah.
having us.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
This was
Really
good.
Thank you for coming
fun.
on. Thank you, MJ, for I know we killed you with the mirrors.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I got to record it. It's fine.
I was gonna
got to
say he's
record it.
TiVoed that or
Yeah,
something.
like it's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. And I appreciate big thank you to all of you three and chat for not ruining the Bears game and respecting the pause. So thank you.
Once again, thank you again, Holly, for donating a horse for a giveaway, and Lucky Jack, once again,
Yes.
legend of giveaways. And
Legend.
everybody
Yeah.
who got a horse, race it on Friday. That's a quick hint. Race it on Friday.
Yeah, save it for Friday.
Yep. He loves to watch his horses run that he's given away. So
Yeah. So thank you
Into
once
the crate.
again, everybody, and thank you once again for coming on for the interviews. Everybody have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.